Well, Spanky, thanks for joining us on the show, man. It's nice to have you back on the OBDM podcast. I think the last time that you were on the show, it was me, you, and my brother Clown Baby, and we were talking about missing 411. And we were trying to explain to you what that was all about, how sometimes when people go missing, they go missing under very peculiar circumstances, especially out in like national forests or in the woods. And this most recent book called Missing 411 Montana is more of these cases. And for like a brief overview of what a missing 411 case is, it is when someone goes missing in the woods and they are, if their body's found, is typically found in a place that has already been searched. Or canines that are brought out, they can't find a scent.
Yeah.
When a person goes missing, they deploy search and rescue. Oftentimes, severe weather just happens to erupt, and the search is impaired or called off for a few days. Then sometimes bodies that are found that go missing, they will either have their clothes removed. Oftentimes, their shoes or boots are removed. And then a lot of times that people are found near water or in water, lake, stream, river, what have you, and sometimes near boulder fields. Those are all just like a brief overview of what constitutes a missing 411 case. And the author of this book series, Missing 411, David Plate, has put out a new book specifically about Montana. And I've been going through this. I've been reading it for the past few days. And it's kind of depressing to read because you're reading about people that in most instances, like 90% of the cases that he writes about, they're dead. So it's not like a very Christmassy book, you know?
Yeah.
You're reading about people that have lost their lives and were probably alone in the final moments of their lives. So,
Jingle Bingle.
Jingle Bingle. This is what we're going to be talking about for a little bit today.
What is the Jingle Bingle? I don't remember that one.
I forget, like, I came up with Jingle Bingle a few years ago as like a non-specific holiday greeting.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a Jingle Bingle.
Jingle Bingle.
I forget how I came up with it.
Is that your voice?
This is
Jingle Bingle.
That is Lionel. He's a big YouTuber from Lionel Nation. This guy,
Jingle Bingle,
is Ethan Van Shriver, who's a big comic book artist.
They sound like the same dude.
Jingle Bingle.
Jingle Bingle.
And
Maybe
then this third guy,
Jingle Bingle, motherfuckers.
that is Dab and Mike, Dab Surgeon. He's a listener. He hopped on the Jingle Bingle bandwagon very early on and called in and left us that note.
Sounds like it's really sweeping the nation.
It's like a very slow grass fire. You know, it's like a grass fire that is kind of annoying. You could probably go out and like stomp it out if you want to, but it'll just burn out on its own.
But you just kind of sit there and kind of watch it like, it's not going anywhere. I can just check this out.
We have T-shirts.
And fade a little bit.
We got Jingle Bingle T-shirts. If you just search for a Teespring OBDM, you can purchase a Jingle Bingle T-shirt. It's not too late. We celebrate Jingle Bingle, I think, up through February.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's indeterminate. We don't know when it starts or
all the way
ends.
until Valentine's Day?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or maybe for Valentine's Day, too.
Yeah. It's just kind of all rolls into one. We celebrate like 3 holidays here. Jingle Bingle, kind of Thanksgiving, and then we talk about Halloween. All right, let's get on over and let's just talk about Missing 411 because this is some interesting stuff. And then I think I don't have much to show here since these are just kind of stories that I've read in the book, and I'll convey them to all you good people out there. The 2 stories I found in the book that I found most compelling. Oh, wow. There was something that was going on there. One of the 2 stories that I found in the book that was fairly compelling were stories that involved younger kids that were taken by animals. And the first one is from 1903. And both these cases are in Montana. This is September 1903. And it was reported that the Dumfrey family said that their infant daughter was carried off by a wolf in the afternoon. Obviously, someone must have had seen a wolf carry off their infant child. That's what was reported in a newspaper. So they went out looking for their daughter. And the father said he found a wolf den. He entered the wolf den, and he saw a mother wolf feeding her pups. And he also, at the same time, saw his daughter trying to suckle from the mama wolf. He went in there, got his daughter back. The wolf growled a little bit, but didn't prevent the father from taking his daughter back. And
how long was she gone? Did she just 5 minutes and she's already sucking on a wolf tit?
Yeah, it's a good
while?
question. Like you saying, there's no loyalty to family there.
Yeah, it's just oh well, I guess I'm a dog now. I guess I'm a wolf now.
The way it was conveyed, it was within 24 hours that the daughter was found.
Time.
You figure the kid could go without milk for 24 hours.
I know.
But free meal's a free meal, Spanky.
That's right.
What are you gonna do?
I would do it. Let's be honest.
This is in one of the instances of missing 401 where the kid didn't die and was actually retrieved and lived. But that's how it was reported in a newspaper, that a wolf basically abducted the daughter, and it kind of ended there. Found it to be curious, from 1903. The second one in the book that I want to touch on is from 1955, and this is July 4th, 1955, and the kid who disappeared was Ida Mae Curtis, and her age was 2 years old, and this was in the Coon-Tinney National Forest near Libby, Montana. So this is
Mike, that's Kootenai. Just FYI.
Kootenai?
Yeah.
And what was the other
Kootenai?
one? Liberty?
Libby, Montana.
Libby, okay. That's
it's like a town. So this is at a big logging camp. The father, Mortimer Curtis, was a logger, and all the loggers decided to bring out their families to the camp for 4th of July, probably to set up fireworks and just have a nice camp and picnic with each other. In the late afternoon, Ida and her brother Cecil were in their tent when they said a bear entered the tent and carried Ida off. It was stated that Mortimer's father saw a bear in the woods about that time. Now, the kid Cecil said that his sister was carried off by the bear, and as it picked up his sister with one arm, it ran off on 3 legs. That's what the kid said. And the grandpop, Mortimer, said he did see a bear in the woods at the time. That provoked the search. Almost 250 people searched for her. Then on July 5th, the next day, she was found across the creek, not but 300 yards away from the camp, in an area that had been searched dozens of times. And she was found in a sort of a cedar shelter, something that was almost like a cedar lean-to. And she was unharmed. She wasn't wet. And she was in good health, which is all concerning because you'd imagine that if a bear did grab her, the bear is hunched over. It has to go through a creek, so you'd imagine there'd be some water splashing up. And a bear, in my recollection, I believe bears do have claws, so there might be some claw marks or some ripped clothing on the young girl. There wasn't any of that. And like I said, it was already in an area where they already searched.
I think a bear could have a little finesse if it wanted to, and not hurt something with its claws if it wanted to.
I suppose so. I guess a bear could be delicate. I'm not sure if bears are known to be delicate. I guess you can train a dog to pick up something with its mouth very gently and not destroy it. But I don't know if bears are I guess they're capable of picking things up, but are they capable of picking up a 2-year-old and running across a creek with it? I don't know.
I don't think their claws are razor sharp. I think they're kind of pretty sharp, and especially with 500 pounds of force or whatever behind it, and then it can rip your head off. But they're probably just as sharp. You can probably touch it without getting cut.
It's possible.
It was cool.
I'm saying that it's not impossible. I just think it's unlikely. So they found Ida. She was unharmed, and the family all stuck to their story that a bear carried off their daughter. But when she was found, the sheriff's department told the media that there was never a bear, and kept insisting that fact over and over again, disregarding the family's claims. I think the family actually got irritated with the sheriff. But in a subsequent kind of interview with the kid, Ida said as she was being carried, she remembered being hit in the face repeatedly by the bear's breasts.
Okay, so it was a furry animal, and it might have been a sand squanch.
I'm not like up on bear biology or anatomy.
You don't know,
but I don't think they have breasts.
They have a chest breast. You know what I mean? If it's a female Bigfoot or
I don't think they. I mean, what I'm getting at is they attribute like what they saw as a bear. I think it's probably a Sasquatch at that point.
Yeah, if it was a female, it might have a big set of tits.
Yes. And, it's not unheard of that there are other stories out there of Sasquatch abducting kids or other kids being abducted by whatever kind of creature it is and taking care of it. I don't know if a bear would build a cedar lean-to, like a cedar shelter for the kid to stay in. I would believe it would have to be some sort of hairy humanoid or some sort of humanoid in the woods doing this kind of thing.
Or it might be like I was thinking, a really passive bear that can handle things with care and artistic. A crafty bear can make a little house, for the baby.
A bear with a liberal arts major. Something that a bear is very sensitive, very crafty.
A hippie bear.
Okay. If the bear has that much intelligence to get a degree and go to college and become a hippie, then sure, it probably would abduct a small child to rear on its own.
It might be it might be like a crazy, one of those, women that abduct children and raise them as their own.
That's possible.
There's a word for it.
Yeah, there is a specific medical condition for a woman that abducts a child. That's the whole premise of Raising Arizona.
Yeah, kind of. That's a couple though.
Yeah,
and then there's a new movie out on Netflix with Sarah Paulson, the woman from American Horror Story, and how she kind of. Well, I just blew the end of the movie, but
oh no.
Well, we move on from that.
That's all right. But in a non-Montana related story, I'll bring this up on screen, and this is a 3-year-old. This is like just from earlier. I guess it was last year. I'm sorry, January 2019. We talked about this on the show, and this is 3-year-old who was missing for days. Says a bear watched over him in the North Carolina woods. I thought it was Kentucky, but it's North Carolina woods. So a 3-year-old boy was found alive in the woods in eastern North Carolina after he went missing for 2 days. He said he spent the time with a bear. Casey Hathaway disappeared last Tuesday. He had been playing with 2 other children in his grandmother's yard. And when he disappeared, Thursday, Casey was found calling for his mother about a quarter mile away, 40 to 50 yards deep in the woods. He was soaking, cold, and tangled in a thorn bush. He says rescuers waded through nearly waist-deep water to get to the toddler. How did he get there, and how did he stay alive? Quote, he hung out with a bear for 2 days, is what his aunt said. And she shared that in a now private Facebook post.
She said hung out?
Hung out with a bear.
Oh, right.
His aunt called it a miracle and said God sent him a friend to keep him safe. Casey's mother gave authorities the same report, and he said he had a friend in the woods that was a bear, Sheriff Hughes told USA Today.
Sounds like a smart guy.
He said Hughes said bears are common in the area, but he thought the comment was more cute than factual. This kid was 3.
Does he remember the bear? I mean, 3-year-old kids can talk most of the time and tell you what happened.
Yeah, that's. I think these kids are just seeing what they are used to seeing, and it very well could be some sort of Bigfoot, some sort of hairy human that is watching over these kids, maybe abducting them. Like this kid was found just 40 to 50 yards into the woods. And if I remember correctly from the story, it was just 1,500 feet from the house and about 50 feet up on like this ledge. Now, that is an area that I would assume would have been searched within the 3 days that the search and rescue had. Just like the previous story from Ida, she was found 300 yards from a campsite in an area that was definitely searched by search and rescue. And she appeared there out of the blue. This kid, you'd imagine he would be crying the entire time, throwing a fit because it's cold, he's scared, he's alone. They would have heard him throughout those 3 days. They did not. He was there, and the bear was looking after him. I just think that there is definitely something to those last 2 stories. The wolf carrying off the kid in the first story. Don't know about that. You don't hear a lot about that. There are other missing 411 cases and stories from the late 1800s, early 1900s of kids encountering strange wolf creatures in the woods, but nothing as recent as what I just shared here from 2019.
If you want to join the Slack or Discord, give us an email at ourbigdumbmouth@gmail.com. Check out obdmpod.com for all the social media and donation links. Be a part of the magic.